Hey guys, it's AvAngel, welcome back to the channel, and we're here in Bern, Switzerland today, for no other reason than we want to. We're going to go flying, we're going to have some fun, we're going to see beautiful Alps, and we're going to go visit a really cool airport, and all I need you to do is go get yourself your beverage of choice, get comfortable, settle down and enjoy the video. Now we're flying an airplane I haven't flown on this channel in quite some time, and it's Carenado's stunning Beech 18. One of my favourites from long into the FS 2004 days. So quite a while when we had Milton Shoop's beautiful Beech. And this is ticking already, which is weird because it shouldn't be, because it's not even on yet. Now, unfortunately, it's not 24 native, so we don't have the gorgeous, well, fun little pieces to pull chocks out and pitot covers, which would be lovely, and I'd love to see the stock aircraft have those eventually. I know it's not a Swiss registration, it's the one I last had saved on my aircraft, and it's funny, so I thought I'd keep it. I must say, I still love the detail Carenado have in their aircraft. They do look absolutely beautiful. Let's get on board, shall we? It's a beautiful aeroplane here. Now, let's get this out of the way for me just for now, whilst we get ourselves sorted here. Now, should have checklists that work in this aircraft, so we do indeed. Well, they function, so mags are off. Landing gear is down. Let's make sure that's done. Flaps are 0. Cowl flaps are fully open. Our cowl flaps are here. So that's fully open. Parking brake is set. Let's make sure that is confirmed. Parking brake is set. Fuel selectors are checked to on. So we're going to go for our left front and our right front there for our tanks. Starting engine, nice and simple here. Mixtures to rich. Let's make sure those are right. Throttles to 1/4 inch open. Let's give them that much. Batteries to on. There we go. Generators to on. Let's make sure we prime as required. Engine mode selector, magnetos to on. So we'll leave our mags off for the time being. Now, unfortunately, we can't do that off for the second engine because hardware. But right, so where are we here? Okay, we'll go to the left. Boom. And we'll do the same to our right engine. Nice and easy. Don't have the rather fun realism mod for this yet. I don't think it's available for 24, unfortunately. The Denark mod. Wish it was. Would make it much more fun. Avionics all on there. Oil pressure, RPM. Let's make sure these are good. Everything should be fine. It's obviously not a bunch of these things are simulated, but that's not what we're here to do today. We're here to have fun and actually roleplay it a little bit and actually make sure we do things properly. And keep our eyes on stuff. So we'll give the throttle a bit more. Bring her up to about 1200 RPM. Is our goal. There we go. Just so it can warm up slightly whilst we get ourselves sorted today. So where are we off to today? Everything else is good there. Where we are with our lights and instruments are set and as correct as they should be. Those are our overhead lights. There's our instruments, of course, up there. Avionics switch is on the roof in this aircraft, which is a bit of a weird one. Make sure that's back in the center. Make sure that is reset because it does that weird thing where it goes funny. Okay. Make sure these are all where we want them to be. Interesting. Mags are set to both, but weren't set to both. Weird, it's only operating the left mags. That's a new one. There we go, beacons on. As we wanted it to be. Okay, fantastic. There we go, found the yoke again. Make sure our pilot's side yoke is turned on as well. It's annoying with this one because it gets right in your eyesight and you can't really see past it, which is often why I tend to turn it off in the Beech because I do have my controls in front of me. I would realistically be able to look over them. So everything's looking good there. Let's make sure we're ready to taxi here, shall we? Now, where are we off to today? Today we're heading across Switzerland to a place called Munster. Munster is Lima Sierra Papa uniform. We're taking off from Bern, Switzerland, which is Lima Sierra Zulu Bravo. And we'll be flying past Interlaken and up towards Jungfrau, passing the Sphinx Observatory, and we'll be on our way. Flight planner where we're going. Here we are. So we fly down here, Tunisia, to Interlaken, to the Sphinx Observatory, and across Jungfrau, down the glacier to Munster in the valley. Should be a nice trip for us today. Shouldn't be super long. Speaking of which, we're going to get ourselves underway. So let's make sure we have our parking brake released. There we go. We'll quickly set this to standby mode. Make sure we're on our 7,000 here. Excellent. Okay. Now, wind's only 3 knots. Isn't going to be a big deal for us, so we're going to take off to the east, which is our intention. Now, bigger tail drag. We're going to keep our eyes on where the nose is for this aircraft, which is thankfully a very short wheelbase, which makes our life a little easier. We have great side visibility on this one. There we go. Runway 14 is what we're taking. It's 3 knots from 240. So, yeah. It's a crosswind to 3 knots. I'm not particularly upset. I'll go 1 notch of flaps here. There we go. Taxi out here a little bit. Now, this is default scenery for Bern, Switzerland, if you weren't positive. Have a quick little bit of a whee! Rather beautiful scenery actually for this airport. We've got the big runway here, and rather nice scenery at the airport itself. Bern is over there and here, but rather nice scenery if you've never flown into here. Highly recommend doing it. It's a great place to fly from. In the flatter part of Switzerland, we're going to that bit. Yeah, all the way over there. Without further ado, let's close the window here. Let's get ourselves off on our way. Looking good. There we go. Oh, a little bit to the right there. And we're away. Climbing up nice and easy here. The 18 has lots of power. I'm going to want that because we need to clear at least 14,000 to get over Jungfrau. So it's not going to be a particularly short flight in terms of altitude. We should be able to largely maintain runway heading for a moment here. The Tunisia will be ahead of us. I keep mistaking my pronunciation for Swiss things sometimes. Should have had the fuss people had in my comments over Selamze. That was a fun one to pronounce. Okay. Ah yes, this is the pre-20... I need to install the mod that actually forces a lot of these 2020 aircraft that aren't updated. There is a mod. I will link it in the description if I can find it for you. So look there for it if you can. That forcibly makes a lot of 2020 aircraft that aren't ported use the new model working title GNS. Because it's Type 1 and Type 2. And they need to be on the other version to actually function properly. Right, gear is coming up. Flaps are up. Let's make sure our power's where we want it to be for now. Bring our RPM back. Make sure we sync these somewhat. Okay, 22.5. So we want it. We'll push up our left a smidgen just to kind of get that nice and settled out. Nearly. Come on. So chasing, that's not always a good thing. Sometimes it's going to be a little bit off, but shouldn't be much of a problem for us today. As you can see, very flat but pretty terrain around here. A lot of these photometry forests as well, which is kind of weird. Like you see them in this area here, specifically around Bern itself. It's a photometry area, and you don't see it further out here, which is nice. Because they look a bit odd for photometry forests. I've never been a fan of them. So we don't have to worry about that. Thun and the Tunisia will be ahead of us. At least fairly shortly it will be. We'll we'll keep climbing here. We're going to need it. So we want to pass Grindelwald around 10,000 feet. And, well, Interlaken before that. To manage to make it through here. Because it'll be a steep climb otherwise. I don't fancy doing that in the tight valleys around the mountains. But I did want to fly across the lake here. So a slight deviation from the flight plan. But fully intended. That's meant to be set to on. And we're not going to bother with autopilot today, anything pesky like that. How dare we? Now we're already at 5,000 feet, so we'll give it a bit of a lean. Just a smidge. Okay, looking okay so far. Everything's looking nice as it's meant to be. There's our EGTs. Are you going up? Boys and girls, are we going up? Yes, we are going up. There we go. Now, why is my EGT on the right so much lower than the left? They're about the same power setting. Weird, huh? Instruments and needles on everything else are matched for right and left, so I'm not particularly worried about them. But my EGT was a bit lower. Not much, but a bit. Okay, pull this back a smidge more, get a bit more out of this. Always making sure we're optimizing the engine's performance. And if you've not got something to measure the EGT, it's always worthwhile to just listen. You can often hear the difference quite easily. There we go. Young fire ahead of us there. Okay. Starting to get into a bit of a hillier terrain around here now. It's a ton. Yes, I know. Someone Swiss will come into the comments and tell me how terrible my pronunciations are, and I accept that. They are. And that's okay. I'm awful. But it's hard enough learning one German without learning three. And, well, Austrian makes my brain bleed. Although I did once have a very terrifying moment where I thought I'd forgotten all the German I knew because I was watching a video and I couldn't understand a word people were saying. And it was Austrian German. It was in Vienna. So, that explains it. No, it's a bit of a slow week for aircraft releases, unfortunately. We haven't got much coming out to the pipeline at the moment, but it does mean you guys get to join me for a pleasant little flight because you want to enjoy yourselves. No other reason needed. Sometimes coming for a chat with me is just all you need. I wish I could give a much more engaging reason than that, but I'm hoping that's enough. Now, we have got, of course, the B-25 from Airplane Heaven coming fairly soon. That looks like it's finished and ready to rock, so hopefully we'll see that very soon. That I'm excited for. We've never had a really good B-25. Not that it's going to be necessarily good or bad. ... But it could be good. I will say the Lancaster wasn't bad. I rather liked the Lancaster from Airplane Heaven. The B-25 pictures look really good, so I'm hopeful that it will be pretty good. Now, there are some physical inaccuracies with the model, and I will talk about those when I do the review. We'll see if they get fixed or not, but there are definitely some inaccuracies in how the model appears. Some of the historians have gone over it, and it's already been proven wrong. When it comes to his new one, though, it's not even out yet. The B-25 hasn't even released an Airplane Heaven, ready to turn out another aircraft. We've gotten drops today, literally today, of pictures of the brand new Mosquito. Yes, the Mosquito is coming from Airplane Heaven too. So we're going to get a Mozzie finally. Now, we only had a freeware Mosquito in FSX, and the only B-25 we had, I think, in FSX was a port over from FS 2004, and it was a old freeware one that existed from a flight museum. So we never really had either of those two, so it would be nice to have something. I think it was Dave Garwood did the freeware Mozzie for FSX. There's Interlaken below us. Beautiful little city. And the Alps are looking sharp here. Everything's looking rather sharp, but then again, I've got everything cranked up to 11, so it bloody well should be. Here we are. And we're coming through 8,000 feet, so we're on our approach to where we need to be here. Oh, you're going a bit too much there. Let's pop you back up there. There we go. No, that's about what I'm getting out of you. Right engine's being a little bit leaner. Unfortunately. Everything else is looking fine. So yes, there's Interlaken down there. Very expensive place, but pretty. And of course, the cycling comes through here from the Helvetia Cup, the junior Swiss Tour. And up to Grindelwald, up there. Because Grindelwald is up there, up that valley, to our left. It is an airfield. You get the helicopters going there from the rescue stuff, but that's all closed down because you have the whole Swiss theme park thing located there. Otherwise, closed airfield. And for a small town this size, it's got 2 railway stations. One here and there. Westernost. Right. Oh. I am diving more than I wanted to there because I was looking outside of the camera, trying to look at pretty things. And right there ahead of us is the Sphinx Observatory, so we're going to climb power here. I'm going to try and eke what we can out of this beast as best we can. Try and climb for this. That could be a stretch, but we'll see what we can do. But it shouldn't be too bad once we get across. I might have to do some circling up here, but that's okay. Now, of course, there's been some mapping changes with Sim Update 3, according to some people. I haven't seen much difference, to be fair, but things do look a bit... They've always looked a little bit on the kind of softer side with 2024, but some things look a lot greener. Like, down there looks markedly more green than I recall. But it does seem newer in many cases. And one of the nice things over 2000, and unfortunately we get some parts like that where you had shadow, it just gives us black mountains, which looks crap, but... Grindelwald is up there. In some cases you end up with, well, one of the things I hated about 2020 was along this valley you got this stretch texture down both sides here, this iconic valley. At least now we have cliff face, which is nice. But no, up here things are looking pretty decent. There's parts of the Alps looked better before, but I don't think it looks bad at all. But there's some bits that are unfortunately gone down to texture because there's no photometry due to angles of satellites and passes. We are going to have to put our work in here to get up, I think. Try and keep ourselves in the green. And that's where the railway goes up here on this side. Okay, what can we eke out of this aeroplane? No, 2,000 feet a minute is probably about what we should keep below that. Not sustainable, but it will be enough to help us climb. 1,500, I'll just about stretch that right now. Probably a bit much, to be fair. This doesn't seem like it should be maintaining speed whilst climbing at this rate. That seems mildly implausible, Carenado. But the Beach 18 isn't exactly underpowered, so... Oh, we're going to be able to clear the ridgeline there by the Sphinx. Yeah, you can see Grindelwald down there. That's Grindelwald. Which I'm pretty sure it is, down there. We're not going to clear this one. We need at least one more circuit. I don't... Nope, that's not going to happen. We'll do a loop-de-loop round. And because I'm annoyed, I'm going to look this up. I want to make sure, so whilst we do a quick 360 to climb, I'm going to find something out for you. See if I can one-hand this whilst we go. Okay, Switzerland's what we're looking for. Maintain this climb whilst I do it. Just do 3 things at once because, you know, why not? Okay. Dun. Dunasee. Interlaken. Nope, that's Berglaunen, I believe there. Grindelwald is further off to the side. So that is Berglaunen here. Grindelwald is up there, I think. And Gundischwald is down there. Cool. And Lauterbrunnen is the town I mentioned down there. The one in that super steep valley. Lauterbrunnen. So in terms of the big mountains, let's have a look up here, shall we? So, Jungfrau Hoch. We have Monch is there, or Monch. I don't know. Oh god. Nah, we're doing stupid things. Don't. Behave. And Schreckhorn is off to the, I think, the side here of the observatory. So, one of the ones up here. I'm looking at a map and I can't pronounce most of them. In fact, I think that one would make that, if I'm looking at these correctly, I'm not looking at them correctly, but that's okay. There's a bunch of big Swiss mountains. It's all you need to know, basically. And that was generally roughly correct about where things are located. Now let's have a look as we come over here. There's the Sphinx Observatory right there. It's great to get up in a helicopter if you can. It's doable, just. It's bloody beautiful up here. Look at this. Absolutely stunning scenery. Got a good view of that place as we come past. You can get up to this, by the way, via train. Yep, up the inside of the mountain. Well, the train stops further down, but there's a cable car that goes up to the actual observatory itself. The cable car station goes in like there. It comes to down, yeah, down to there. And the train gets to about here, I believe. But yeah, you can go to that by train. Welcome to Switzerland. Everything's accessible by train. Okay. Alright, let's get our nose down here. We're at 12,500 feet, so we didn't quite need 14. That's okay. And it should be a matter now of just pull our power out so it's not too bad. Constant descent from now on till the end. Oh, no, it's power. I don't want to keep the power out. There we go. Let's make sure that's about right. That's about all we're going to get in terms of our mixture. We'll be able to enjoy the scenery for the rest of this trip. A bit more noisy, you said? It's not that loud, is it? I often find sounds on the interior a little bit muffled at times. Nah, we'll keep it muffled. Should be okay. Right, Munster is along the valley down below us, so it should be, it's an uphill landing. It's a sloped runway. So we'll do an over the top and then we'll come around and we'll make our approach. Even though we are coming in on runway heading, I want to show you it first. Okay. But no, I'm looking forward to the Mosquito and the B-25. Both are two of my favourites. Now all we need is someone to do an A-26. Specifically looking at you, Flying Iron. I could do with a Flying Iron quality A-26. And of course, Microprose's B-17. I don't think there's been a better time to be into World War II bombers, to be honest. Now appears to be exactly the right time for it. We're about to get a lot of them. And I know there's the argument that people make about having good ones available for these things already. Like, I know that DCS has a great Mosquito. But I don't play DCS. I don't play IL-2. So these sims, whilst they're good for combat stuff and have these aircraft, that doesn't help me. Just like Vatavia's Handley Page Hampton is actually not bad, because for me it's the only one I'm probably going to get. Yeah, DCS might have one, they don't, I guarantee it. But I don't care about the combat sims, and I know there are plenty of other simmers who don't either. For me, I just want to enjoy flying these aircraft, replicating missions and experiencing something from the time over the real world. I don't really want to fly in the modern in a textured world just for the benefit of combat. It doesn't do it for me. Okay, we're idling out our engines here. Now, I could be a troll and do this entirely dead stick from here. Am I that psychotic? Yeah, I'm that psychotic. Let's go. Let's go. You know what? I'm just going to put the throttles up so you shut up on me. Yep. You are going to annoy me this entire time. I love how Star engine sounds despite them being shut down. Okay. So, this is about to get real. Because I'm feeling like a troll today. And that is our airport. Right there. Just here. Nice spot. And in case you were curious, yeah, we're going for the quiet approach today. Because it's fun. Now, one of the things when you're going to do a dead stick landing and you've got plenty of altitude is to know how much you've got. In our case, we're not going to be able to descend to this in a straight line. That's just not happening. But I could dirty us up and make that approach work. I'm just not sure if I want to risk it for speed. Because if I get dirty early, I am going to be in trouble for making it... It'll either be too fast and too low, or also too fast and I'll go long, or I'll be too slow and I'll come up short. So I'm going to just see how I feel when I get a bit closer. And with our descent rate right now is 600 feet a minute. We're at about... We're coming down to 10,000 feet. So I think we've got at least a circuit before we can come down here. But I figure this is a good thought experiment in terms of how to do this. Now, this is also an uphill landing dead stick in a mountain valley at about 5,000 feet. So I like to make things complicated, don't I? Now, I could try and shoot for this now, but I think that's going to be a stretch. I think I can make it work, though. So I'm going to dirty the airframe up here. And we're going to descend. I'm going to circle here on this end. I'm putting the gear down now in case we lose battery power. So I want to see what I've got. I can always pull up if I need to, if I've still got power for that. But I want to see what I'm doing with this aircraft now. It's going to behave with the gear down. We've got plenty of speed. Not a problem. We're a bit below control speed for single engine, but we're not worrying about single engine right now. We've got none. At all. Right, so, oh, that's not the airport. The airport's right there. Sorry, I misinterpreted. That's the old one up there. That's closed. We want this one here. So we're directly above. So yeah, we're perfectly high enough right now. So I'm going to circle here. Because I want to be circling before the approach rather than directly over the field. So I have time and room and visibility of the field. So I know where it is. And doing this in a valley is making it more complicated. But what the heck, we like a challenge, don't we? Now I think I'm going to make an extended dogleg back here. Turn around and try and slip down to try and make this work. Because we're losing speed fairly quickly right now. And I think I can do this in one more turn. Now, I could make myself slipperier. I'm going to do that. Shut up. Okay. Keep the plane clean here. Just extend this. Let's make sure we trim ourselves neutral. Keep it nice and relaxed. It's very quiet, isn't it, when it's like this? Peaceful, almost. You know, I told you this would be relaxing. Go get a beverage and sit down and join me for relaxing times. But I like to... You should know me by now. We like to make this complicated for the reason of being complicated. Now, I can't see the airfield behind me, but I'm pretty sure... Let's do this realistically. No, I can't. But the ground is not particularly far away right now, and we're uphill. So I'm going to come round here until at least I can see the field. There she is. I'm going to make this... Okay. Gear down. We've got speed. Okay, we're good. I think. We're good. Flaps down, 2 notches. Okay, a little bit of a slipsy doodle here. Just to burn some of this off without gaining too much. I think I'm a bit too high. Full flaps. Bugger. Flaps up, gear up. I'm going to have to try and burn some of this. I know, I know, I know. This is not what I want to be doing with no frickin'... Oh, crap, that's bad. I wanted to descend, I didn't want to descend that quickly. Okay, well, looks like we're doing this the hard way. Looks like we're going for the hard approach. The hard approach it is. Okay. That wasn't part of my plan, but I guess we're doing it. Mamma mia, pizzeria. Ah, stop, you pig. Stop, you son of a monkey's uncle. Okay. And we got runway to spare. See, we're fine. This was entirely intentional, as you could well tell. Completely under control the entire time. I don't know what you mean. That's a power pole. That's a telephone pole. Okay. There's the field. Yeah, the uphill nature of that helped us a little bit. But, yeah, we did it. And in very Swiss fashion, see. That's what looks to be a... I think that's meant to be there. I think it's meant to be the... Yeah, there's bunkers along here, which is kind of funky in its own way. But yeah, we made it just fine. See? Just fine. No problems whatsoever. Cool little field here. We've got this uphill, downhill. And... let's see where we can see it. There's a train that comes rustling along here. There it is. It's working its way up the valley right now. That's cool. You got the little bridge here. Not suitable for aircraft, by the way. Now, those are vehicle-sized roads down the side, not the actual runway. You taxi across the grass for this. As you can see there, little train. Little Swiss train. In fact, there's a couple of this developers made that have this feature. Now, this is a marketplace add-on, so you have to go for the marketplace. I'll give you the actual ICO for it. You can find it in the marketplace availability. But yeah, a little Swiss train that comes rattling along the tracks here. Most of his airports that have a runway near them, you'll find an animated train running past them. They don't do the whole route, but they do the vicinity. So you'll get that nice factor of seeing the train there. Which is cool. But it's a tiny but fun little airport here. As you can see. Just a couple of buildings, some gliders. A little hangar. It's small, it's simple, it's nice. It's not a very expensive airport. I just like them because they're unique and fun. And I can do stupid things like Deadstick landings into valleys when I don't need to. For reasons. Nearly spinning out on the approach, by the way. That's why I ended up nearly inverted. I started to go into a spin. I managed to save it and just have enough altitude to come in here and make the day. So, Switzerland, I love you. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.